Why is DBD genuinely impossible to balance? I think it's really simple why, due to it being an asymmetrical game, but that alone contributes to so many other components that may be confusing on a surface level, so I'm going to dive into them today. Like I said, it's an asymmetrical game. There's 4 survivors that have to cooperate while there's just a killer that plays by themselves. A buff, a nerf, a specific map, a certain killer, RNG, and many more can literally just change the ending of a match. And you can't really do anything because that's the design of the game. That's how behavior made the game. It's just the game design. For example, giving survivors a slight gen speed buff, like the anti-tunnel update, would make gens fly too fast. And giving killers like slightly faster cooldowns, or literally none at all, like someone, yeah, we all know who I'm talking about, makes pressure a lot easier to achieve and looping straight up near impossible. Alright, now let's talk about an actual symmetrical game. A good game that comes to my mind is CSGO. Everybody's playing the same shit, no one got some power or whatever. Everyone has access to the same things. Balance tweaks affect everyone equally. Like if they decided to change how much damage a gun does, it goes through everybody, not just a certain amount of people. In asymmetrical games though, not everyone is doing the same thing. They also often unintentionally break the experience for one side whenever something gets changed. The second reason to why DBD is so hard to balance is due to the amount of skill gaps and playstyles that exist. In our case, there's casual players, sweats, or competitive players. A perk or killer that's balanced to casual players may feel completely different to competitive players, or vice versa. A casual nurse is gonna be buns. They're gonna be missing their second blink like half the time. While a competitive nurse, you literally cannot loop them. You die in the corner as a strategy because it's inevitable. Another good example is how people underestimate sprint bursts, and usually casual players say it's buns and then go play light instead. But in my opinion, sprint burst is so strong because of how like you can literally just gain a random speed of boost whenever you want. People don't understand that you can just 99 it and like activate it when you want. That's the thing. Survivors who know how to loop really well can make some killers look so weak, but they realistically are not weak, or either this the skill issue like how we just mentioned. We typically see this in the case of M1 killers or even some M2 killers. I would say like maybe a Sadako can like have a great game where she gets a 4 kill and she kills everyone with her power, right? The next match she gets a P100 Nia that runs the absolute dookie out of her, breaks her ankle so bad, and then when she finally catches Nia, she dead hards and the exit gates get turned on. In summary, balancing for both ends is genuinely just so tricky to do. The third reason why is because there's an abnormally large amount of variables that behavior has to consider when they try to balance the game. There's 300 perks, 41 different killers with more to come, and tons of maps and different RNGs. Even one small perk can lead to unexpected combos or meta shifts. A good example of this was back in the 7.0 patch with Singularity and Gabriel, and I think y'all know what I'm about to say. When Made for This had 3% of haste. Right now, as it is right now, it's when you're in deep room, but back then, it was if you were simply injured. Imagine how frustrating it is to see that the survivor makes it to a pallet that they would usually not make it just because they have one perk. And people would also like combo this with other haste perks too. And that meta was just annoying because literally everybody and their damn mama had it on. Even to this day, there are still perks that are just unhealthy for the game in general. Maps themselves can make certain killers either unplayable or overpowered. Like a basic example is like strong glutes versus like short dash killers like Wesker. Literally cannot use his power. Or me, now with Krasu's nerf, when I get maps like Macmillan or maps that have rock tiles, like fillers that are rocks, not just vertical things, it is so hard to bounce my regurgitate unless the survivors up the pallet. And survivors know this. In my MMR, the survivors know this, so they will literally not camp the pallet, so it makes it harder for me to get the infection than it already is. Or even Gideon, oh my god, yo, I genuinely hate that map with a passion. You know that little area at the cooler room with those two god palettes, and like there's another one with like a god palette around on the other wall. Why the fuck does that map have so many god palettes? I genuinely don't understand. And there's even more than there already was because the palette density update that behavior released recently. A lot of killers don't have the speed or mobility to just like vault over the palette or like close the distance. Like I don't want to be queuing my freaking Krasu moaning like for like 2 minutes straight because I keep getting stunned. Like damn. I think that's why every killer recently has been getting some crazy ass mobility. The devs will basically fix something and then make something else happen again on accident. It's not like it's on purpose, it's just how the game works. Now my fourth reason is the RNG. The RNG plays a big factor in DBD because you don't get the same map every time. Like you can be playing like on like Garden of Joy, but you won't have the same layout every time. Like it can either spawn a god loop over here or like a trash filler on this side. It's always different. It's never the same thing, which makes it harder to go to data to like balance stuff. Now my final reason is the community. The community is so divided with this survivor main, killer main dynamic, and the balancing decisions can feel unfair to like one side, you know? No matter what you do, like even if it actually seems balanced, one side will be like, oh, this is such a killer-sided update! Like, and it goes vice versa, you know? Like the biggest example you see is on TikTok comments. Like, do not, and I mean do not, open the comment sections unless you want to rot your brain because it gives off such major like Apple versus Android vibes, you know? Everyone's always so close-minded and it's just aggressive as heck. That's why the devs have to be a lot more careful when they make updates because you shouldn't use feedback that's dumb like that with the data you have. And sometimes too, the feedback and data don't even align that well. Like some people will like complain a lot about one thing, but the data doesn't show that. Alright, now to put everything together, Dead by Daylight is difficult to balance because its asymmetrical 4-1 design means that even small changes affect one side more than the other. That often creates big and uneven impacts. The game has a strong snowball effect where like early advantages quickly grow out of control. With 40 killers and more to come, hundreds of perks, RNG, map elements, and different player skill levels, one tweak can unintentionally break multiple systems or features. There are no mirror matches, so buffs can't be evenly distributed between sides. On top of that, survivor mains and killer mains want different things, and what's balanced in data doesn't always feel fair. Finally, the core gameplay loop. Fast generated progress versus killer pressure forces strategies like tunneling and camping to remain strong, making balance even harder. In short, a single small change can tip the entire game, which is why I think DBD will never be balanced.